What's going on, YouTube? It's your boy, Cam ATL, and welcome back to another DFS video with your boy. Drop a like down below because I already know you're going to love it. In this video, we're going to touch on the Week 14 main slate when it comes to NFL this week on DraftKings. All right? Now, first things first, there's a $20 entrance contest on DraftKings where there is 1 million to first place this week. We are going for $1 million this week. Okay? Somebody is becoming a fucking millionaire this week, and there's somebody who is watching me or is a member of greenlightdfs.com. All right, plain and simple. All right, my optimal will be posted over on Sunday about 10-15 minutes before the slate starts, obviously. But we are going for that milli this week. All right, we're nearing the end of the season. It's been a great year, but I'm looking for that big W, and a milli would be fantastic. Now, in this video, we're going to do a first look lineup. All right, I'm not going to break down position by position. We'll do that later in the week. What I'm going to do is I'm going to build what I love early on this week so far when it comes to a milli type lineup. All right, this is my first look favorite build going into this week for GPPs for the millionaire contest. All right, for the milli contest. Again, this is a $20 entrance contest over on the daily fantasy part of DraftKings, and we are going to build a lineup together right here, and we're going to go for it. All right, now, obviously, first things first. When you're entering into a contest like this, number one, stacking is pivotal. You have to get a stack going, okay? So what I like to do in spots like this is I like to make sure that I like to figure out a good stack that I like going with, that also allows for roster construction where I can get kind of the rest of the guys that I like. All right, let's start at quarterback here. Now, I've gone over so many different versions so far, man. I had a Rams stack. I didn't have much Buffalo stacks just because that's probably a snowy game. I'd rather get a lot of James Cook in that game than anything. I've had some Colts stacks. I've had some Jacksonville stacks. I've had some Arizona stacks. I've had New Orleans already because of their value. I've had some Jets. I've had multiple different team stacks to kind of feel out how this slate is going, all right? And the way that I'm leaning right now is the Jets at home. And I'm going to explain why. First off, Tyrod Taylor is 4-9 in an amazing matchup at home against Miami, who ranked 23rd against quarterbacks this year. Okay? They're bottom in the league at stopping quarterbacks. We're getting Tyrod Taylor at 4-9. Since he's taken over, he got 13 against Buffalo, and then he got 21 against Atlanta. Okay, at 4-9, we don't need a lot out of him here. He's facing a Miami defense that just gave up almost 20 to show. They've given up points all year to quarterbacks. He's at home, and one of the reasons why he sticks out most to me is because one of his receivers is one of my favorite value level receivers this week, and that's Adonai Mitchell. Adonai Mitchell at 4-6 is one of my favorite receivers this week. Why? Because this dude just got 12 targets against Atlanta this last week. 8 catches for 102 yards and a touchdown. Huge upside. And I have to expect with something like that his stock is definitely on the rise for the rest of this season. And especially with Tyrod Taylor at quarterback, obviously we know he likes looking to him. Adonai Mitchell is going to be his wide receiver one. You've got Garrett Wilson, who's not available there, obviously. So Adonai Mitchell at 4-6, you're getting a 20-plus potential type receiver who's going to be the wide receiver one on this Jets offense, who's at 4-6. Okay, so this is the first starting point that I like here is because, look, great matchup against Miami already. At home in New York. Tyrod Taylor's only 4-9, and his wide receiver I like stacking with him's only 4-6. This immediately gets us a solid, decent stack started, allowing us to still get massive studs throughout that can break the entire slate. And we're going to get to that. All right? Now, running back is one of those positions where I've been spending for those slate breakers. First person we got to talk about is Achane. All right? Achane is in a fantastic spot here. This dude is obviously, I don't need to break it down too much because you already know how good this dude is. Okay? Not only is he like a wide receiver one for the team, he gets a good bit of targets on this team, but he consistently gets over 20 carries. Okay? He consistently gets over 20 carries. This team is favored So they're going to be ahead. That's another reason I like the Jets, because they're at home in a pass-friendly situation. But Achane at 8.8 is just my favorite running back in general because of how much he gets involved in the pass game, as well as how many carries he gets on the ground. Another guy I love is Bijan Robinson at home in Atlanta at 8.5. Now, running back I like pairing with that is James Cook. Buffalo's one of the top projected teams of the entire week. They're at home in Buffalo in what is looking like it's going to be a snow game. And what do we know about these snow games? We know that it is ground game all game long. Sure, they'll do like little slants here and there, little stuff. But when it is a snowy game and a bad weather game, a lot of times it's run heavy. And in this position with James Cook at 7.8, I really like his possibilities of having a really solid floor, as well as having slate-breaking type potential like he did against Carolina week 8 where he got 36. You feel what I'm saying? This is a guy who's got huge upside potential against Cincinnati in this one, in what will be a very strong run-heavy script here in Buffalo in the snow. Both Achane and Cook are amazing options. Both have solid floors. Both have crazy upside. And I like pairing them with Taylor and Mitchell, especially Achane for the run back on the Miami side for him. All right? Now, so far, we're looking good. Next, let's talk about another value receiver. And the reason why I'm spending up at running back is because this slate has some solid value at receiver. I like Vele, however I say this dude's name, Devon. I like Devon for New Orleans against Tampa Bay. This is a play from behind spot for New Orleans. This is another stack that I had some interest in, playing Vele with Shaw, however you say this dude's name. Tyler. There you go. This is another stack I considered. Why? Because it's such a solid level, cheap receiver that you can get exposure to. He got 8 targets, 8 catches for a touchdown against Miami this last week. And now he's going into a matchup where they're going to be playing from behind again against Tampa Bay. It's a big play from behind spot. It's a heavy throwing situation for New Orleans. And at 3.7, again, we don't need much. And if he happens to get 20 plus again, we are looking in a huge takedown position for that Milly. So I like going back to Vele. Now, for GPP, a lot of times I either put another person in for my main stack. So like it would add another Jet. Maybe Mason Taylor for the Jets or something like that. But in this position, I'm going another secondary stack mixed in. Okay? Now, one thing that pissed me off last week is Jackson Smith-Njigba. Jackson Smith-Njigba was legitimately the best receiver in the entire NFL. All the way up until he goes into against Minnesota week 13 and gets a total of 4 targets for 2 catches and 23 yards. This is a spot where you go right back to it. This is something that's the reason why I really love Jackson Smith-Njigba this week is because a lot of people are pissed at him. And a lot of people let their emotions get the best of them in this game. And because they're letting their emotions get the best of them, and they may shy away from him because he let so many people down, including me last week, they may not go back to him. We may get Jackson Smith-Njigba in a dome against Atlanta for low ownership. It's definitely possible. So Smith-Njigba is one of the main dogs, and you have to expect after the 4 last week, there's no way he has another down game. He pops right back over 30, I guarantee it. He's got the upside of 40 like he did week 12 against Tennessee. It is a huge position for him, and again, in this position where we're going for the Milly, we want upside, and we want the guy that a lot of people may let their emotions fade. And that's what we want. Feel what I'm saying? All right, so we got Jackson Smith-Njigba. Now, I talked about mini stack. Another reason why I really love Jackson Smith-Njigba is because I really like Pitts at home here. I really like Pitts at home. Seattle has struggled against tight ends. Kyle Pitts is in a position where Drake London still, even if Drake London plays, he's not going to be 100%. You feel what I'm saying? And if Drake London plays, at least that takes some pressure off Pitts in the pass game. Atlanta is underdogs in this, obviously. Due to Jackson Smith-Njigba absolutely carving them up this week, on the other side, they're going to have to do a lot of throwing. A lot of Kirk Cousins to Kyle Pitts is what I'm seeing. And this is a little mini stack within the stack here. I love Jackson Smith-Njigba, like for all the reasons I talked about. And then I love Kyle Pitts Sr. to run him back on the other side at home in Atlanta with a banged up Drake London. He's questionable still. He's leaning towards playing, but even if he plays, he won't be 100%. He'll really act like more of a decoy for Pitts to get more opportunity, to be honest. So I'm not too worried about it. I love Kyle Pitts Sr. a lot here. All right. Now, for these last two spots, it kind of comes down to, obviously, I have 3-5 remaining. Let's talk defense first. One of the defenses that I like this week that's at a cheaper cost is the Commanders' defense against Minnesota. J.J. McCarthy may be coming back, but nonetheless, I mean, this Minnesota offense is just playing atrocious. Commanders are only 2-8, so they're one of the punt defenses that I really like. This is a spot that you could definitely play with. It's open to whatever you're thinking of doing here. I mean, there's multiple different things that you could do here. I mean, you could go, let's see, you could go, Cleveland's one of the defenses that I've played with, but they're 3-7. I don't like, a lot of times when it comes to Milly Maker type lineups to get $1 million, I don't really spend up on defense in positions like this. A lot of times I'll punt because I want the upside of what some of these other guys do, to be able to get an upside play of Jackson Smith-Njigba, who may be possibly low owned, to get an upside play of A-Chain in this position, James Cook in a snow game. Like, to be able to get these type of guys, I got to punt. So this is my punt defense this week. Now, that leaves me 4-2 at the flex position. Now, there's multiple options that you could go with, but the guy who really sticks out to me this week as somebody that I really want to get exposure to, and it just makes a lot of sense due to game script and what's expected in this game, is going to be Brenton Strange. The Colts have struggled against the position. Strange has been getting good targets in the past. I mean, he's been getting good looks. He got 5 targets against Arizona, which isn't crazy, but 5 catches on 93 yards. He's very consistent. That's after he came back from injury. And then last week against Tennessee, he got 4 targets, 3 catches for 45 yards, and got in the end zone. This is a guy that in a pass script, like it's going to be against the Colts, I would fully imagine, they have almost 24-point team total. They have a high team total while being underdogs at home in Jacksonville. Strange feels like a guy who could absolutely get heavily involved here for Jacksonville. He's a guy that is just, he feels very consistent. I don't need slate breaking upside from him as long as my other big dogs do what they need to do. It's kind of the same type of position as Vele. Like, they're both in very good scripts to show out. And I don't need much from those guys. As long as I get what I need from Jackson Smith-Njigba this week, which you would highly doubt that he would go another dud back-to-back. There's multiple ways that you can go when it comes to that stud this week. Like, I'm not against Puka Nacua at all. I think with Devontae Adams balling out the way he did last week, I would be even more prone to going right back to Nacua this week. Just because a lot of people will go Adams, and Nacua may be the guy. I mean, Nacua is the higher targeted guy. It's just Adams is the better end zone guy. But at the end of the day, with Adams having such a big game last week, I think everybody will flood to Adams, and I think that makes Nacua even more enticing, especially in a millionaire lineup like this. So this is what we got. This is what I'm leaning towards for the Milly Maker early in the week. Now, obviously, as we get closer to the start time come Sunday, the optimal lineup over at Greenlight DFS will be geared fully towards it, and it'll be locked in with all the information available to us. Yeah, man, we going for a Milly. We're going for a Milly over at Greenlight I'm building for a Milly this week over at Greenlight DFS. We're going for the Milly here in this video. I love it. We've got Tyrod Taylor paired up with Adonai Mitchell. Feels like a solid little cheaper stack that can get us what we need at home in New York. You've got the run back of A-Chain. You've got Cook in a snow game at home in Buffalo. You've got Vele and a pass-heavy script for New Orleans against Tampa Bay. You've got Jackson Smith-Njigba, who we're going right back to after failing everyone last week. I'm praying his ownership is low because of that, and a great matchup against Atlanta in a dome. We're running Smith-Njigba back with Kyle Pitts. All right, again, Drake London, yes, Drake London may be back, but really he's going to be a little bit more of a decoy and open up opportunity for Pitts, in my opinion. At home in Atlanta, again, this is good for a pass game always, in a dome, in a very pass script for Atlanta as well. And then Kind of the one-off, Brenton Strange. Brenton Strange is a guy who just has been consistent when he's played this year. He's a big red zone body. They're in a pass-heavy script for Jacksonville at home. Solid team total still while being underdogs at 3-9. It just sticks out to me. And then really it's just punt defense. Let's see what other options we had at defense. We have the Packers at home. Chicago's been playing well though, man. Chicago has definitely been playing well. This is a tough one. We could go the Titans defense against Shador. There's multiple options you can go here, man. You can go Green Bay at home. You can go the Vikings against Mariota. I don't know. And you can go the Titans against Shador, or you can go the Commanders. There's multiple different spots. I'm trying to feel it out. How do I feel about it? Probably just spend for Packers. Honestly, final decision. I think I'd probably just spend for Packers. We know the talent level they have on that team, and they're at home in Green Bay. Which also in Green Bay, is it snowing right now? I'm not 100% sure, but it may be bad weather there as well. Not 100% sure on that. I'd have to look that up. But that's it, y'all. Thank y'all for joining me as always, man. And let's get this milli this week, man. I'm incredibly excited to get this million. It's a $20 entry contest over on DraftKings. Make sure you get in there. Let's get somebody $1 million this week. All right. Thank y'all for joining me as always. I'm out. Peace.